Alrighty, folks, we got another collection update for you. This one's going to be a classic rock edition. If I forgot to put it in the description. So first up, we got David Bowie, Hunky Dory. Um, David Bowie is one of those guys that I like a lot, but I never felt the need to buy any of his stuff because he was played on the radio so much. Outside of Tin Machine, I do have Tin Machine, which most Bowie fans do not like, for some odd reason. So I heard him enough on the radio, so I never felt the need to buy any of his stuff. But since it's been going on well over a decade now, that I do not listen to the radio anymore because the radio in DFW is shit. Worse than shit, actually. Pathetic. Any other pejorative you can think of? So, anyways, it was several years ago, actually. Well, maybe a couple years ago. I was like, you know what? I should get some David Bowie in the collection. I obviously have not like some eras more than others, so I was like, what era should I get? And I decided, the vast majority of his songs that I like come from his glam era, so that's what I'm going to get. So I bought The Man Who Sold the World. And then, just planning on getting the other ones and just never got around to it. And then not too long ago, I saw a cheap copy of The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. So I picked that one up. And I was like, well, I skipped over Hunky Dory, so I got to go get that one. So I picked this one up. So I need Aladdin Sane, Pinups. I am going to get Pinups, even though it's a covers album. It's still a part of his glam period. And then Diamond Dogs. And then I'll probably be good on Bowie. Next up, Jackson Browne, Running on Empty. This is another one. Well, honestly, I'm not that big of a Jackson Browne fan, honestly. Saw this copy and it was really cheap, and it does have my favorite Jackson Browne on it, the Loadout / Stay. A lot of people think that's the all one song. It is not. Stay is actually a cover tune. Hang on, forgetting. Something Williams in the Zodiac. Starts with an M. I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank on his first name. So anyway, like I said, this thing was a couple bucks. The Loadout Stay, great tune. Something you used to hear on the radio all the time. But now I don't ever hear anymore, so I figured I'd grab that. It was only a couple dollars. And we got Foghat, Rock and Roll Outlaws. Love Foghat. I had the debut. Oh man, my thingamajig. Oh, you know what? I think when I got this, I dropped it. Like right away, putting it into a player, I dropped it and broke it. Forgot about that. So yeah, I love Foghat. I have their debut. I have Rock and Roll and Energizer on vinyl. Then I have Fool for the City. So I needed Rock and Roll Outlaws to complete the chronology of the first 5 albums. And now I need Night Shift to complete the chronology through Foghat Live. And then I'll probably get Stone Blue at some point. After that, I'll probably won't worry about it too much. Then we got some Rory Gallagher, Defender, This is his second to last studio album. Love Rory Gallagher. Love everything Rory Gallagher does. The funny part is that I actually like Rory Gallagher solo much more than I like Taste, which is, some people might think is bizarre, because Taste was a rock band with blues influence, whereas Rory Gallagher is a blues musician with rock influence. But it just works a lot better, his solo material, in my opinion. It didn't hurt that he had a killer band backing him up on most of his solo stuff. Lone Shot Blues, Continental Op. This also got a couple bonus tracks. Seems to Me, No Peace for the Wicked on it. I said, anything Rory Gallagher is good in my book. And then I have Ram, Paul and Linda McCartney. Sorry, don't want to forget Linder. Yes, I know it's shocking that I'd never had this album, but you know, as big as a Beatles fan as I am, and I always say that the Beatles are my favorite band until I hear Black Sabbath. I don't have a ton of their solo stuff. And this one has one of my favorite Paul McCartney songs on it. Uncle Albert, Admiral Halsey. So yeah, I have the first solo album just called McCartney. Then this is the second one. So I kind of needed it. I forgot I do have a greatest hits by him. I forget what it's called. Wingspan, that's what it's called, because it has solo stuff and Wings material on it. And then I have Band on the Run, and I have Wings Across America. I actually have the giant box set of that one. But that's pretty much it for McCartney. I only have John Lennon and the Plastic Ono Band for John Lennon. I only have Greatest Hits by Ringo Starr. I do have All Things Must Pass, Cloud 9. I do have a concert for Bangladesh also from George Harrison. I got both Traveling Wilburys. Well, that's kind of more of a group. I guess Wings was a group too. And then what else do I have by George Harrison? Maybe that's it. So yeah, not a lot of solo stuff by the Beatles for whatever reason. Just never got around to it. Always heard plenty of it on the radio, so never bothered buying any of it. And then we got Gary Moore, live at the Marquee. Always heard not nice things about this album. And I was like, how bad can it be? It's got Gary Moore, it's got Tommy Aldridge, it's got Don Airey. It's just a really weird set list. It also has, I'm drawing a blank on his name now, Kenny Driscoll, who used to sing with, there's not even, this is a sparse packaging in here. There's not even who plays on the albums listed on here anywhere. Kenny Driscoll, I think his name, used to be with Lone Star. So there's a couple of Gary Moore tracks on here. There's a couple of G-Force tracks on here, which was Gary Moore's kind of foray into pop rock. And there's then it ends bizarrely with a instrumental, which is basically a drum solo, called Dallas Warhead, which I don't think that's actually on anything else except for this album. I may be mistaken on that one. But there we go. It's still got Gary Moore's guitar playing on it, so It's worth it. Tommy Aldridge is on fire on it. Alrighty, folks. There's another 6 for the rock stock inventory. You guys have a good one.